Hey, I am here and I am going to be playing the other half of my favorite game of all time, Sonic 3 Knuckles, but this is just Sonic and Knuckles by itself, as you can see. It has a really nice little title screen that you actually don't see if you lock it on to Sonic 3, which is a shame. I really like how that looks. And also, as you can see, you're restricted to either playing as Sonic or Knuckles. You know, this is Sonic and Knuckles, it's not Sonic or Knuckles and Tails. Although if you hack the game, Tails has some remains in the game, but if you play as him, he's all glitchy and his sprite is screwed up. But anyways, yeah, I love this game a lot, and with Sonic Mania just around the corner, I thought I might whore out, oh, did I say whore out? Jeez. I mean, I thought I might play some more Sonic games, right? This is just gonna be my own commentary. My boyfriend's not here. I was the one who played through this. What else to say? It's just gonna be me, and I'm gonna have to pad out a whole hour of talking to myself about a video game. The question is, can I do that? And can I do that efficiently? Who knows? Anyways, yeah, I love this game. It's terrific, and I thought to myself, well, you know, I already Let's Played Sonic 3. I should also Let's Play Sonic and Knuckles by itself, and then finally I'll do Sonic 3 and Knuckles Lockdown. I have this Saturn version called Sonic Jam, and it has Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, and they have some weird little features that you can play with it. You can play, like, I think it's called Easy Mode, and it's weird. They removed certain hazards and enemies, and they made, like, the game shorter, but I'll probably play that as well. Anyways, this boss, I make quick work of him. Next time I play this game as Knuckles, I'm going to let him cut down the tree. Because if you take a long time to beat him, he will actually cut the tree down, and he'll have this weird sound effect, and you'll have this special animation that you're only going to see if you allow him to do that. But I've run through this game fairly quickly. I just had a couple deaths towards the end. You'll see. Anyways, there's Knuckles. I mean, obviously, go figure. But anyways, no. Act 2, Mushroom Hill Zone, this area, is probably my favorite level in any 16-bit game. I think it's really neat how they do the palette swapping between the seasons. Right now we're in autumn, and then if you go to a certain point, it will swap to winter. And just the blue and the green, it's just a terrific looking level, and there's a lot of things going on. It almost reminds me of the Lost Woods and Ristar. They have like leaves popping up when you run on the ground, and just a lot of really neat touches like that is what makes this game and this level so memorable to me. It was very polished and just incredible for its time, and even for today, I still think it's one of the best 2D games that you can play. It's great. Good soundtrack. I mean, the only issue is that it is a 2-part game. You know, you want to lock on to play the best version of it. Yep, it's a fantastic game. I cannot say the same about the so-called sequel, Sonic 4, and I'm wondering, like, when Mania comes out, does that mean Sonic 4 is no longer canon? I mean, I don't want it to be canon. But yeah, right here, this is when the seasons change. It's wintertime now. I think that's so neat. But yeah, getting back to Sonic 4, it's called Sonic 4, yeah, it didn't really bring anything new to the table. It just had a bunch of recycled levels from Sonic 1. The bosses were very uninspired, and everything looked like plastic to me. You know, if it's called Sonic 4, that would imply it was, you know, bringing something new to the table. Anyways, I hope Sonic Mania replaces it. So we're going to the first boss in the game. It's Robotnik jacking around with the seasons. You get a couple free hits on him. So if you were to play this as Knuckles, there's a glitch that I don't know how you trigger it. I've seen it many times though, that it has the wrong sprite and you'll actually be fighting Robotnik as Knuckles. That's not supposed to happen. But anyways, this is a pretty neat looking boss. I remember they advertised it in the TV commercial for this game back in the day. They were really trying to make things look 3D to compete with Super Nintendo and Donkey Kong Country, so they had that little 3D effect with the trees. I thought that was really neat. So this next cutscene is interesting. You see this robot that's piloting the airship, or the flying battery rather, and you never see him again, and you don't even know what that guy's name is. So, I don't know. That always perplexed me. So yeah, Flying Battery Zone. I love the music in this world. It's awesome. And one thing I need to say about this run through is I don't get any Chaos Emeralds, and I don't even go into a bonus stage. Like I just play through it. So I did this on purpose because usually when I play this game, I get at least one, if not all, the Chaos Emeralds. And this game has a lot of different endings depending on if you're playing it by itself, if it's locked on. So I'm going to be beating the game with absolutely no Chaos Emeralds, and I've never seen that before. So I wanted to see what happens if I do that just for fun. When I play through the game locked on to Sonic 3, then I will be getting the ending that has all the Chaos Emeralds. In fact, I might just use one of my save files that are cleared already. So the little mouse thing that you see kind of like going up and down the walls, and that's called Techno Squeak. And a funny thing about Techno Squeak is if you had the actual Sonic 3 game and the instruction manual and you read it and you went into the back, it would have Techno Squeak and a picture of him listed in the game, even though he is nowhere to be seen in Sonic 3, and that's just, you know, more evidence that it was meant to be a full game. You know, it was kind of a oops, we put a enemy in the manual that isn't even in the game. So I thought that was pretty funny. Fire Shield is super useful in this level for obvious reasons. This is just a neat looking level. It's fun, and you can kind of control which direction Sonic's gonna go, and I get extra life to the right. Yep. Act 2 is probably my favorite song in the game, A Flying Battery, but Act 1 is fun too. It is a lot of fun. So I'm trying to think about Sonic 4. What else do I have to say about that? The sound was bad. Like, they would use these weird samples, but then they would have one, I guess, audio channel that was dedicated to the Genesis bass or instrument sample, and it sounded wrong. And it just sounded really lazy. Like, if you're trying to do old school tribute, like, that's not how you do it. It just sounds bad. And again, I'm not going into any bonus stages or special stages. I'm excited though that Sonic Mania is bringing back Blue Spheres, it looks like, finally. I was worried they were going to just cop out with Half Pipe, the Sonic 2 special stage, and so many Sonic games, even new Sonic games, would do that. And I don't know, like, I never liked the Half Pipe special stage in Sonic 2. It probably has something to do with me always playing with Tails, and the computer Tails just picking up more bombs than rings and totally screwing me out of getting a Chaos Emerald in that game. Now this is funny, you have to wait for the thing to blow. You know what, I'm gonna stop myself. Like, I feel stupid. Like, that's some bogus padding that I have to tell you how to do something that everyone knows how to do. If you don't, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you've been living under a rock and haven't played this game before. Alright, so we have this boss. He likes to stare at Sonic, but he doesn't realize that he's, you know, hitting himself over and over and over. He's stupid. So, I don't know. I think it's neat though that they took the capsule and they transformed it into a boss. That's kind of neat. And he just committed suicide. You know, we can help you. Depression is a problem that can be helped. You should have sought. I can't talk. I'm so tired. How much time do I have here? Dang, 54 minutes left? Ugh. Oh no. Alright, no, it's okay, I can do this. Assuming that anyone's still watching. Like, who watches my stuff? Seriously. Okay. Alright, so the electric shield is pretty neat. It makes rings follow you, and it's great. If you have rings that are following you and then you take damage, then they'll just like, they'll stop following you. It looks funny looking. I like doing that. More Techno Squeaks. The Techno Squeak is like an iMac mouse. Have you guys seen what I'm talking about those really old, bulky, when it was just like all in one with the monitor. Techno Squeak reminds me of an iMac mouse. Now here requires a little bit of platforming. You can't just hold right to win because you will fall off and die. That's a pit. In case you didn't know, hedgehogs do not like to fall all the way from the sky and go splat. That's very detrimental to their health. And here's another instance of if you were holding, well, not right to win, left to win, you would get smashed. So yes, occasionally you do have to watch where you're going in the 16-bit titles. And that's like a little spring. And I went the wrong way. Just being real careful here. No real reason. But I do like having a shield in this game. Sonic's the only one that can actually use the elemental shield abilities. Otherwise, you're gonna get glide or tails will fly. But Sonic has his insta shield, which is amazing. It's probably the best thing in the game. I mean, people would say tails is, flying is amazing, but personally, I like having one frame of invincibility with Sonic, and it also extends his hitbox, so you can damage enemies that you normally wouldn't be able to reach with Sonic. And yes, you can obviously get crushed there, so I would time your spin dash carefully like so. I think there's some spikes down there that you can push, and it will let you drop through the stage, and you can get a ring to go into a special stage, but I didn't do that here because I'm not getting any emeralds. And that thing, I think, was just a recolored grabbing grappler, I think I just made up a word, like grabbing spider that was in Chemical Plant Zone. And this shield does deflect projectiles, which is really useful. And so does the electric shield, given that they're not fire projectiles, obviously. I'm just like second guessing myself there, thinking, am I gonna get crushed? I'm gonna just move to the side. And this is kind of like, what level was that called? The Flying Fortress Zone, kind of, sort of, in Sonic 2. And I wanted to know something. So Robotnik has this giant laser, and it's clearly like blasting everything. How come it's not causing the flying battery to just like blow up or just, I don't know, crash? I guess it's kind of the same logic like when you beat Oil Ocean boss in Sonic 2 and he blows up in the ocean. How come it just doesn't set up a giant atomic explosion, of just, crazy proportions? Oh yeah, so, Robotnik's plan didn't work, as usual. So, now this part I think is really interesting. I mentioned earlier I love this song. They're obviously, using or sacrificing a sound channel for the, I guess the extra noise that the Flying Battery Zone is shaking. And you can still hear the sound, the music. It just, it sounds a little different, and I like it. To me, it kind of gives you like this, like you're ascending feeling. It really, I think it worked out, even though they had to sacrifice the sound channel. I like how the music sounds right now. So, I mentioned earlier about like oversights. If you're playing as Knuckles, this right here is probably the biggest oversight in the game. You still fight Robotnik as Knuckles, even though you're really, fighting that Egg Robo guy. There was a hack called Sonic 3 Complete, and usually I encourage people to play stuff on actual hardware and play the real thing, but that hack was really impressive, and they made a special sprite just for this, this oversight, and when you play as Knuckles, it will be Egg Robo and not Robotnik. So they did a really good job. I highly recommend that hack to anyone that's a fan of this game. Okay, so Sonic's gonna bust out the door and land into a desert. Sandopolis Zone. And this is probably my least favorite zone in the game. I mean, it's really long and there's a lot of hazards. But it's still fun. It's alright. And I got Scorpion somehow. They do a really neat effect with the heat. I like that. And there's a lot of different paths, and of course, that's one of the main reasons to me why this game has stood the test of time. I played this game so many times, but every time I play it, I go somewhere different, I see something new. There's just so many different paths that you can take, and some of the paths were designed for certain characters, so you can play this game with 3 different characters and go many different combinations with the paths that they have. And I think that's amazing, and it really adds on to replay value. And of course, you have the Chaos Emeralds if you like collecting things. I think Sonic Mania is allowing you to play as Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. I'm very happy they did that. That's one thing I've missed, is being able to play as the original trio. So the next level is when you go inside the pyramid. I remember as a kid, I actually timed over. Like, that's a really long level and you can get lost easy. This one's pretty long too, but not quite that long. That guy's funny looking. He's just hiding under a rock. I wonder what he actually looks like without the rock. So you can grab the little, I don't know what to call it, but yeah, you can grab that thing and you can swing down. But I just, if possible, I try to just jump because it's a lot faster that way. And there's a few sand pits that if you sink down, you'll go to a secret room, and there's usually a special stage there. But you really need to know which one you're sinking in, because otherwise you're just going to die if you go in the quicksand. You can hear cricket chirps. No, I can't. What else to say? I'm not doing a good job padding this out. Spikes are white. Sonic is blue. Okay, I'll stop. I'm trying to think of what to talk about. Should I talk about Street Fighter? How I don't really like 5 and I'd rather play Cross Tekken? And the issues I have with 5? I was thinking of just I could make a separate video on that. The issues I have with 5. Anyways, I padded out enough to say, hey, we are at the boss now, so I could stop trying to pad and I could talk about what's going on. So this boss is pretty funny because you can't actually damage him. If you jump and attack him, he will fall back, and you just pretty much wasted your time because you're not supposed to do that. The idea is to lure him to the left where the sand pit is, and then watch him sink and die a horrible, slow, painful death of suffocating. What? Oh, anyways, yes. Sorry, this is a children's game. You can't have that. Alright, so if you are like Super Tails and you have the flickies, you have to pretty much just wait because the flickies will keep attacking him and he'll keep getting knocked back, and it's impossible to beat him that way. So if you come in here as Super Tails, you're gonna have to literally just wait until you run out of rings, and then you have to, proceed as normal. But yeah, so he commits suicide. He just wanted a hug. But Sonic ain't about that life and doesn't want a hug. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to screw up the signpost because I can. It's like part of it is stuck in the wrong layer. So yeah, it's always fun breaking stuff, so I did that. And we're going inside the pyramid. How exciting. Okay, so Sandopolis Zone Act 2. It's dark in here and the gimmick is lights, turn the lights on. So you can say, yeah, Sonic games suck, they play themselves, it's full right to win, it's nothing but gimmicks. Like, no, I'm just kidding. I love this game. Yeah, so this is a little bit more of a, I guess, puzzly level. You have to find the switches to clear the barriers, and you have to kind of micromanage the light. The more time goes by, the more ghosts, the ones that I released, will show up. Now, interesting thing about if you play as Knuckles, when you get to that point, the capsule that has the ghosts are already open. In fact, ghosts can attack you right off the bat, which leads me to believe that Knuckles' story takes place after Sonic's. I wish Sega or someone that has like authority or official whatnot would confirm if that's true or not, because I think it does. There's other parts in the game that would lead me to believe that Knuckles' story takes place after Sonic's, but that's a whole different, I guess, video. And here, I barely make it through. I was like, oh my gosh, spin dash to safety. But I don't think the ghosts attack me at all in this run, now I think about it. They go through like 3 stages, the small, medium, and then large is kind of a warning, and then after large they'll start attacking you. They'll home in on you. If you're supersonic, it doesn't matter. Like, they'll touch you and they'll just die. So, if you're supersonic, you don't have to worry about them. I think they're really neat looking. Their sprite always look like, I don't know, more polished than all the other sprites in the game. I don't know. I can't put my foot on it, but they look really neat. And so sand's gonna help you ascend and get to higher places. Just make sure you don't get crushed, because that can happen. So I remember when I was playing this, my boyfriend is like, "Are you gonna fall through walls?" Most levels in this game, you can't really do that. I think this was a level that you can. However, I don't do it here because the thing about falling through walls is if you don't do it correctly, you can fall and get stuck in a wall, and that's either a reset or a wait until you time over and die. So I just do this level legit. I think it's possible though that you can, well actually it is possible, I've done it before, you can kind of fall through into Knuckles' level, or area, and Knuckles can fall into Sonic's level, or area rather. But this is a good song, another good song. It's very fitting. I said sitting, oh my gosh, I need to go to sleep. Yeah, it's very fitting for a Egyptian level, especially a Dark Pyramid. It's very ominous. Just the entire soundtrack is great. I think I said that before, but I'm going to say it again because it is that good. I've always made jokes, I'm like, yeah, you know, if Sega ever goes down under, like completely bankrupt, I said they should just start their own like music band, because the music for their games are absolutely fantastic on average. Like I think of, you know, Jet Grime Radio, Panzer Dragoon, Knights, Shimu, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, like all of their games, they have just phenomenal music. I would say probably better than most other games' music. Like the consistency of having excellent, unique soundtracks. I think they excel at it. I'm going fast. I gotta go fast. Now, do you see like that little like blocks, gray blocks? That's where Knuckles would go. Knuckles can climb and break through that with his knuckles. What else? What did you think I was gonna say? So if you were to like crouch and fall through the wall there, you can get into his area. So here, I almost, no, maybe not. I thought I almost went into I almost went into a special stage, and I'm like, nope, I don't want that. That ring's not good enough for me anyway, so. And that is the end of the level. I went pretty fast. You know, I didn't get lost or anything, and that took 5 minutes. And this boss is just, like, pathetic. You just, you know, keep jumping at him, and he will not even have a chance to really do anything. He's still cool looking though, right? I think he maybe fires one laser at me. Don't remember. Come on, Robotnik, do something. Do something. Come on. Oh, Robotnik, you're useless. I thought he fired a laser at me. Oh, well. But yeah, that's all that boss does. And then I glitched Sonic out. Apparently I fell in a weird position and Sonic is just running to the left. Because he feels like it. That's funny looking. And I like little stage transitions that this game does. That's really neat. And Lava Reef Zone. It's a really, really... Well, I was gonna say it's a cool level, but... Yeah, okay, that was a bad joke. I was like, I mean, it's a cool level, but it's not really cool. It's actually hot, but I like this level. And again, I like the music. The music is awesome. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, would you like to guess what kind of shield is useful in this level? If you said water shield, you are correct! No. So, over here, there's going to be a fire shield to the right, and for obvious reasons, I do recommend that you get them. It makes this level a lot more easier, and it's fun, just, you know, walking on lava. You have little elevators, and again, more switch pushing, so you can't hold right to win. And I just kind of hang out there because I can. The background is really cool. You can also, at certain positions in the stage, you can even see, oh actually right there, up there, you can see the death egg in the background. I love that. I love how this game sometimes will tell the story just in the background. Like Launch Space Zone. Depending if you're playing as Sonic or Knuckles, Launch Space Zone will have the death egg being repaired, or maybe just being repaired for launch rather. And it's not in Knuckles' Launch Space Zone. And again, that's another reason I think that his story took place after Sonic's. But I think that is so neat that they have details like that in this game. And like I said, every time I play it, I always see something new, or have something different happen to me. I can't say that about many 16-bit games, honestly. And that enemy is pretty cool. It can go through walls and not care. He must be friends with the Trilobite from Echo the Dolphin. If you guys didn't know, that Trilobite is a jerk. If you played Echo. If you played it, you know what I'm talking about. I'm like, okay, I need a ring. So I start to go a little slow. I don't want to run into anything bad. I get a ring and a shield. That's a good combination. And right there it deflected the projectiles. I usually don't go this way. I usually go inside the cavern and take the lower path. Oh, so one thing about this level, I always recommend that you have a decent supply of rings, because those little, like, guys that are vaping, sorry, bad joke, those guys, if you go into the cloud, it will slowly start to drain your rings. And that can kill you if you don't have a lot of rings. It can kill you pretty easily. You spin dash and you can get out of the cloud. So, I am inside the cavern and I'm no longer lost. And I thought to myself, why did I just jump? I could have walked over that lava and not care. I have a shield. Force of habit. And we're going down the shitty elevator that probably doesn't have an elevator certificate. And I was inside the cloud for a second. I don't think I lost a ring though. I was pretty fast about getting out. So, I played this with my boyfriend before. It'd be my favorite game and all. I had something funny happen. I was playing as Sonic and I somehow, like, fell through a wall. I wasn't even doing it intentionally. I fell through a wall and I was in Knuckles' path. And I had one hell of a hard time getting out. I thought I was gonna have to, like, turn the game off. It was pretty bad because I had the checkpoint, so if you die or time over, I was still in Knuckles' path, but I managed to, like, glitch my way out. Anyways, this boss kind of makes me nervous because you can die, like you can get crushed by him as Supersonic or even Hypersonic. I have seen it happen before. I don't know if the game just registers it as like you were crushed and you die or it's a glitch, but I've been splatted and died as Supersonic before, so I always get a little nervous wondering if I'm going to just insta-die sometimes. But as long as you keep moving, you don't even have to be moving fast. You know, you're not going to get splatted with this hedgehog swatter thing. I think it's a cool boss. It's interesting looking. Definitely unique. Not like other bosses. And I'm having fun dashing around with the fire shield. Alright. So, Act 2. I really like Act 2. I think the music is really pretty. And, now this is funny. A lot of people, what I just did, like, I guarantee you, a lot of people, the first time they played, they did exactly what I did, except they didn't have a shield, and that's death. You know, like, this level is kind of like the game being like, yeah, you're getting closer to the end, and we're gonna crank up the difficulty just a little bit, so you're gonna need to respect it. There's a lot of hazards in this stage, especially if you don't have a fire shield. You're gonna have to tread carefully. But I really like how the crystals look. You're in this, like, you know, lava cave that's frozen over, and just how the colors cycle through, you know, different colors with the crystals, I think is fantastic looking. I love that effect. How it's going from, like, purple to blue to dark blue to green. It's really pretty. And that's kind of like a design choice that a lot of the Sonic games did. Just cycle through colors and just really pretty. I love it. And the background's neat too, the cavern. Kind of just a similar effect. And here I am failing miserably at platforming. I don't know. Like, when I played this was the first thing I did. I got up and I had half a cup of coffee, not even full cup. And I'm not like a little kid anymore. I need coffee to function. If I don't have... Why do you think my icon is Chun-Li drinking, presumably, okay, it's probably tea, given it's, you know, from Japan, but I'm gonna pretend it's coffee. My icon is Chun-Li drinking coffee, because I love coffee and I need coffee. So yeah, I didn't have a lot of coffee. And especially when I get to Death Egg Zone, I started to feel the coffee wear out, and I realized I didn't have enough coffee. So I start to, like, flounder a little. I do apologize. Now this thing is janky. Like, I mean, I get what they're going for, but you see how I missed the jump? And then, I know you're supposed to jump at a specific time. It just doesn't make sense to me. It never, like, clicked in my head what I'm actually supposed to do, so I kind of just wing it and hope that I press the button at the right time. I'm sure there's, like, some logic base behind it, but I don't know. I never figured it out. But I can still get past it, so who cares, right? That's cool looking. Actually, it's kind of weird how Sonic his sprite shrinks. And yeah, I like no perspective there. I always run into one of those spikes eventually, but I use my invincibility frames to just run through it. I'm like, alright, we're going through this. Okay, and we are continuing on to more platforming. What would a platformer be without platforms? Thanks, Bubsy. Sorry, running gag. It's like I have to bring up Bubsy at least once in my Let's Plays because I'm a jerk. And I recently uploaded a video of Bubsy game being shit. I mean, I could just upload any clip from that game and it'd be shit, but I like jumped on an enemy and I fell right through it and died. It was on the Super Nintendo version. And now we can really see the Death Egg. That is so cool. And we go up here. And hey, look who it is! It's Knuckles! He has a present for us! It's a boulder to the face! What a jerk! Okay, so, like, I'm a nerd, obviously. I mean, I don't even think that goes without saying. So I played the prototype of this game, and this particular part was actually harder. In fact, I should upload it. I recorded it, I should upload it at some point. It scrolled faster, this part. And it was, I would argue it was more difficult. They made this a little slower, a little easier with the auto scroll in the final product. So I think that's interesting. So this next boss, I actually had my boyfriend count because, like, I get lazy and or bored and I forget to count. But this boss that's coming up actually takes 14 hits. And that's funny because that's 2 more than the final boss in the game. The final boss for Sonic games traditionally take 12. And this one takes 14. But I guess that makes sense because this thing is so fortified it can operate in lava. But as long as you have the lava shield, it's easy. But if you don't have it, then you actually have to, you know, not touch the lava. And one thing that can screw you up, even if you have a shield, are those little spikes. If you're not careful, like let's say you want to jump on a platform, a spike could be kind of sticking up, and you can still touch the spike and you can take damage or lose your shield. So watch out for that. But otherwise, this, you know, straightforward boss. So if you have Super Tails, you want to go super, and you put your controller down, and then you walk, and you make a sandwich, you get some coffee, and Tails gonna look and do his idle animation, which is hilarious because he'll just yawn while Robotnik kills himself. That's like my favorite thing to do. That's one of my favorite things to do with Super Tails, is activate it here and put the controller down, and he'll just yawn while Robotnik kills himself. That's fun. So yep, Robotnik, he's smart. He's a smart guy, but he has no common sense. He needs to be like, yo, this isn't working. I need to change my game plan. But he just kills himself. Yep. Alright. So, we are done with this, and we have like pretty much just one full level left. The next one is Hidden Palace Zone, then Sky Sanctuary, and those are short levels. And then finally Death Egg. So Hidden Palace Zone, now where have we seen this before? Oh yeah, it's that level that they took out of Sonic 2. They reused it. It's completely different, but the name made it in. This is a short level, especially if you're playing as Knuckles. Like, you just literally run through the thing, and it just serves as a transition to Sky Sanctuary Zone. But as Sonic, there's a little bit more going on, not that much. The greatest highlight here is you get to finally fight Knuckles, and unlike Sonic, he doesn't chuckle, he rather... Okay, I'll stop. I was just quoting his totally amazing, well-written lyrics to the Sonic Adventure theme song. And if you can't sense my sarcasm, I am terribly sorry. I still like that song though, it's cheesy and campy. Check out that mural, or the picture. It has like Robotnik facing off a Supersonic, and that makes me wonder, was this whole thing like a legend? Did the floating island have like some legend about this happening, or maybe it did, I don't remember. So Knuckles is trying to get the Master Emerald, and Robotnik shocks him, and you can't do anything about that unless you do some janky things with debug and hit him 255 times, in which case he will turn into a flicky, you know, he'll blow up like any other enemy, and then you pretty much soft lock the game. Good job. So yeah, Knuckles realized that he was dumb, and turns out he wants to help you. However, he's a little tired from his ECT treatment, and also Sonic beating the crap out of him. So, we are going to Sky Sanctuary Zone, a fan favorite. And, I think you could fall to the right if you hold right to win right here. I think there's a pit and you'll die. And I'm just being silly, hanging out on the edge with Sonic's great edge animation. But yeah, so let Knuckles do that or else you're gonna fall. Now this is funny. If you duck in the right spot, you see this hidden animation of Knuckles. He's like, no, I'm cool. Just go. Go. Get the hell out of here. And that's what we're gonna do. You know what I like to call this level? I like to call it, like, older Sonic fan service sanctuary zone. Because you fight a boss, the original Sonic 1 boss, which is neat, and then you fight the Metropolis Zone from Sonic 2 boss, which is also neat. I like the music in this level, and I really like the clouds. They look cool, and like they're so fluffy and bouncy. They're a lot of fun. I like the sound effect they make when you jump on them. And this Egg Robo's a jerk. I hate him. I like these clouds. So yep, here is a familiar sight. It is obviously the Sonic 7 boss. Okay, I need to turn down my sarcasm gauge. Okay. But yeah, so I was like, no, I'm not dying here. And look at the clouds, they're so full of dithering. Dithering everywhere, hooray. There's a lot of moss on this level. I think that's neat looking. You know, like, that's one thing I like Sonic over the 16-bit Mario games is, to me, like, the graphics in Mario, they were just too simple for my taste. They were charming, though. Don't get me wrong. I don't want people, you know, with their pitchforks and ropes in the comments section be like, "Oh, Super Mario is graphics, fuck you." No, I'm not about that. I'm just saying that, you know, Mario had a different art direction. It was a little bit more simplified, but it was charming. It was like a charming, can't talk, damn it. It was charming, simple graphics. I felt like the Sonic had a little bit more complexity to the graphics, and I really like that. I like the little touches that they put here. And this is hilarious looking. And because I have the Insta-Shield, I make quick work of that boss. That boss was a lot more challenging in actual Sonic 2 when you didn't have the Insta-Shield, especially if you play as Knuckles with his low jump. That can be kind of annoying. Well, that's another Let's Play I need to do. I need to play Knuckles and Sonic 2. I like that. And when I was a kid, I actually got smashed, like crushed somehow from that little rotating spike thingy. I don't know what the hell to call it. But yeah, so whenever I'm under it, I always get paranoid that I'm gonna get smashed somehow. This thing right here that I'm on. If you walk under it, you can get crushed. My childhood horrors. I don't know, when I was a real little kid, if I got crushed or killed unexpectedly, that like startled me. Like, and you know what? Like with games like this, that would happen sometimes. Like that's how all 16-bit Sonic games are like. Sometimes the collision detection is just gonna wig out and just be like, yeah, you got crushed, and you're gonna die. And that kind of startled me as a kid. As an adult, I'm like, whatever. And here is Mecha Sonic, because Silver Sonic, that is so Sonic 2. We need Mecha Sonic. He has a pretty straightforward pattern. Don't get hit. That's some good advice, right? Don't get hit. You fight him as Knuckles as well. He's actually the true final boss for Knuckles. He's pretty cool looking, and I think him, or maybe it was just Silver Sonic, the one from Sonic 2, and Metal Sonic from Sonic CD. They actually appear in Sonic Adventure towards the end as like a cameo appearance. They're in Robotnik's area, and I thought that was really neat that they did that. If you played Sonic Adventure, you should know what I'm talking about. And I'm just headbanging. And we are treated to a pretty cool cutscene. I kind of miss Tails though. When you're going up this thing, I always liked how Tails looked, his sprite, because you can see his tails like twirling. And I really like how the Death Egg looks. I always thought this was really cool looking. So yay, cutscenes. Stage transitions. I hope they bring that back in Sonic Mania. I really like that about this game. It's like, the game had a story, and it told you the story by playing it. That was cool. I like that. So we are inside the the Death Egg, and as a kid, when I played this on the CRT, like, I couldn't tell what the background was. It was so blurry, but I mean, now I can clearly see what they were going for. And for some reason, I couldn't latch on to that thing, and like, I've always been able to do that, so I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna just go a different way. I usually don't go this way, so we're gonna go this way today, because Sonic didn't want to grab onto the little floaty thing. And I like to have the electric shield in this stage, because you're dealing with electricity, and it enables you to walk on floors that are electric. Biggest hazard here is running into these missiles. They are kind of annoying. This thing's fun. Also, it's his egg. It's his egg on those little panels. And when I played on a CRT back in the day, I couldn't even see it say egg. I didn't even know it said anything. It was so blurry. Power of science. Sorry, I'm quoting that Overhazard, or not Overhazard. Overwatch. God, I'm so tired. That Overwatch character, the monkey. So everybody, let's hold hands, say it with me. Sonic games suck. Games playing itself. Gimmicks. Fuck everything. I hate you. Yeah. Just kidding. No, this was actually pretty cool looking. I mean, that was cool. That's Sega being like, Genesis does. We're gonna show off with flashy looking graphics and spirally things. Yeah. But I don't know. Like, that's why I don't like the argument that Sonic games play themselves and it's whole right to win. Because, like, define gimmick. To me, gimmicks are what define a level or set a level apart. Like, you can call it anything gimmick. Oh, and by the way, I'm so happy that missile knocked me to the right and knocked to the left, because that would have killed me. And I have something like that happen against the final boss, and I do show it. But then I do some cutting, because I can. And, I mean, this is the year 2017. Nobody got time to watch things. So, assuming that anyone's still watching, like, I cut that part out. So yeah, so what you're supposed to do here is you light up all the buttons, and then you can go through and proceed. And again, that was hard for me to see on the CRT that I played this game on back in the day. So I would just be hitting it like randomly, and then finally, like, I could get out. But eventually I realized what was going on. And the game plays itself and helps us over here. And the game's gonna play itself again. So you put your controller down and sip your coffee, check your Facebook, send someone a text message, tweet on Twitter. Oh, you know what? That's some excellent padding for this video. How I feel about Twitter. I'll come back to that later, because I'm about to get to the boss, and I have a few things to say about the boss. Nah, I'll talk about Twitter instead. I heard that Twitter is not doing too well, and they haven't, they haven't added, this is almost hard to believe, but they haven't added any new users within the last month or so. And to me, I used to really like Twitter until I realized that there's so many bots, spammers, and people that are just using Twitter not for the love of like tweeting or socializing, but just to promote you with stuff. Like, honestly, every time I get a personal message, I dread it. Because 99% of the time, it's gonna be some guy giving me some auto message saying, yo, check out my YouTube, give me a sub, or yo, check out my shitty indie game, can you buy it and give me money? You know, stuff like that. And like me, if you look at my Twitter, I'm just tweeting because I like games, and I tweet like pictures from when I play games that I think are funny, and like, you know, I like making people happy. You know, if they like retro gaming and I tweet something that they didn't know, something interesting or something funny, then hey, cool. But I don't know, there's like too many jerks. Like this mini boss. This mini boss is a jerk. And he's probably the most challenging mini boss in the game. If you don't know how his pattern works, he can be kind of frustrating, but you're safe in the corner. That's pretty much all you need to know. But yeah, getting back to Twitter. I don't know. Like, I don't like it, and I haven't been using it as much as I normally do, because the charm is just wearing off. And then there's people that like use these third-party devices. I've seen it. Like, people have actually made videos showcasing what it does. What they will do is they will mass follow people, and then they will unfollow people. You know, and there's a lot of people that don't pick up on that, like the follow and follow stuff. And, you know, these people, they want to feel like they have this giant, like, e-peen. I mean, I'm trying to, like, tone down my language, but it's just really obnoxious, just so that they can have a high ratio of, you know, followers and a low ratio of them following someone. And it's like, really? Really, dude? That matters that much to you? But yeah, so another thing you can do with the signpost, if you hit it, then it's gonna fall to the earth and land on someone and probably impale them and kill them. Yeah. Okay, so here's another place you gotta be careful, because you're gonna run into an enemy and you don't have a ring yet. And this is the last level in the game. Well, that is if you don't get all the Chaos Emeralds, or enough Chaos Emeralds to go into Doomsday Zone. And I'm not going to go into Doomsday Zone because I do not get any of the Chaos Emeralds in this run. But don't worry, I will be doing a playthrough that has Doomsday Zone in it when I lock on Sonic 3 to Knuckles. I just want to do Sonic and Knuckles and just get it done. So this level's gimmick is gravity. You will go upside down and it's pretty neat. It's fun. And I'm getting hit with a lot of stuff. Like, when I was playing, I told my boyfriend, like, I can't play anymore. Like, I ran out of playing ability. Now this is funny. Like, why did I put a water shield with all this electricity? I don't know. I think that's funny. However, it is useful. Well, not here. It's useful later on, I think, to do a double jump. And that's some Sega trolling right there, putting 2 springs so you just bounce out of control. That's some classic Sega trolling. And I like the song. I think I've said I like the song on every level, but that's about right. This game has a good soundtrack. Said that a million times. So here I got like a little disoriented. I'm like, what's going on? Alright, so what is next? I like doing that, that's fun. I feel like I'm violating physics whenever I like run up the wall like that. So, the game's gonna play itself. But yeah, like, at this point I started to realize I didn't drink enough coffee. And I start to play kind of sloppy, meaning like I'm running into stuff and being dumb. Sorry. That's an interesting elevator. It looks like a chainsaw thing. I don't know. I'm probably like the only person on this planet that would say it looks like a chainsaw thing. So this is fun. You get to bounce and then get trolled by Sega and curse them. And you get to bounce some more. And then you jump over it and say, fuck you, Sega. Okay. Moving on. See, like here, I would have known normally, like, yeah, I need to hit the switch, duh. But I was tired, I totally forgot. I'm like touching everything. But fortunately, I didn't die here. So this, you have to stretch this out so you can reach the top before it collapses. Because after a while, that thing's gonna collapse and you'll fall to the pit, the earth. That's a long way down. They sure have a lot of these, don't they, in this level? But guys, you need to remember in the 90s, this was cool looking. Like, it was cool. I don't think people got too angry. I don't think people were like, "It's playing itself. I'm gonna scream on Game FAQs about it." No, I don't think people did that. Although I think it would be funny if this game, like the Sega Genesis, existed during the internet, because I wonder if people would be like, man, this Sonic 3 and having to buy another game, Sonic and Knuckles, this is some BS, this is DLC. I really think people might have done that. They might have been mad, or maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say. It is hard to say. Because a lot of people like the lock-on technology that this game brought. Like, being able to play Knuckles and Sonic 2, that was pretty cool for its time. I really do think that was neat. And Sega didn't have to do that. You know, to me that was kind of like an apology for like, yeah, it's supposed to be one game, but we couldn't make it happen. So here you go, you can play as Knuckles and Sonic 2. Also, you can play as Tails and Sonic and Knuckles, and you can save your game. And your lives, and your emeralds. How cool is that? Apology accepted, Sega. Anyways, okay, so this is the last mini-boss in the game. And, I don't know, I just spin dash into stuff and hope for the best. You want the spikes to land on him like that and mess him up. And since Dr. Robotnik has the world's biggest ego, he likes to design everything like an egg. Or maybe he just has an egg fetish, I don't know. I don't know what his deal is with eggs. I've seen like the more modern designs of him. He's like looking less egg-like. I know his Japanese name is Eggman. I think they're actually calling him Eggman now in like American games too. I don't know, I kind of like fell off the map after Sonic Adventure 1 as far as modern Sonic games go. I'm catching up though. I played Generations. It was alright. I thought it was a little overrated though. I mean, I know I'm gonna get pitchforks and dislikes for what I just said, but I just felt the previous Sonic games were so bad, like anything was gonna seem good at that point. But anyways, what the hell is this? I mean, come on, that's the second time that Dr. Robotnik is able to outrun Sonic. But yeah, anyways, this is the final boss, and I'm gonna show you. I kind of like cut to the death because it was really stupid. Like, it was dumb. I jump over this fire, and it clipped me, and I died. That's how I got my first death in this run. And to the discerning viewer who's paying attention, you're gonna notice that I went from 14 to 12 lives, so I was playing on tilt and died again. So here's the thing. What you don't want to do when coming into this boss is what I just did, is die. You only have one shot at this boss to fight him with rings. Because if you die, then you were going to fight him without rings. And you know what, I'm okay with that. That was one of the reasons that made the Sonic 2 and even Sonic 1 boss so memorable. Because you don't have rings. You have to do this perfectly. So I'm okay. Like, I don't mind. I don't mind doing this, you know, without rings. Now, this is funny. Like, this first part, literally, just park your butt and spin dash. And he can't touch you. He will keep trying to finger you and, that didn't sound right. Yeah, he will keep attacking you with his fingers, and it's not going to damage you. You will eventually destroy him. So just do this and you win. Hooray, now the real battle begins. So basically what you don't want to do is get hit. And I mean it. You can't get hit right now. You're going to jump over this, you're going to hit this, and then you're going to attack the area where the Master Emerald is, and then rinse and repeat. The biggest hazard, obviously, is the laser. You're just going to have to get into a rhythm and time it. But it's not that bad. So that's it. This is pretty straightforward. If you had Chaos Emeralds, you go into Doomsday Zone. But for those of you that didn't, like me in this run, then this is the final boss. And this song is awesome. I love the final boss music in this game. It's one of my favorite. I also like the regular boss. Again, I cannot stress how much I like this game's soundtrack. It's great. So Robotnik's firing his laser, and you jump over it, and that's it. Now this part, you can still die here. You have to be kind of, I guess, careful when you attack Robotnik. If you attack him too hard, you will ricochet off and you will die into the pit to your left. And this is actually more difficult than it was in the prototype. In the prototype, Robotnik would, like, the screen was scrolling slower and Robotnik would pause, so you can definitely safely hit him. But here, you have to be careful not to fall. Anyways, that is my Let's Play. Hooray! I was able to pad this commentary all by myself for an hour. I'm proud of myself. If you're still listening to this crap, thank you. Oh my gosh. I am so tired. I'm tired. I probably should have, like, did this commentary when I was more energetic. But I think it worked. I winged it. Again, no one watches my stuff, so who cares, right? Talking to myself for an hour long. Great. So yeah, this is the bad ending. The floating island does not have the Master Emerald. You don't have the emerald at all. And it's gonna be stuck in the water. That's pretty neat. I really like how this game has multiple endings. And usually you would see at least like rise a little. And here is another oversight. They just flipped the sprite, you know, just to save space. But in that ROM hack I was talking to you guys about, Sonic 3 Complete, they fixed this. So it's a Sonic and not Kinos. So anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. It's similar to how they did in Sonic 1 and 2. You are treated with a ending theme that has a remix of the levels, which is awesome. And wow, this ending is very toned down, because usually when I beat the game, I get like dolphins and birds following Sonic and Tails, but no, I don't have that here. I just have Sonic and Tails, you know, doing their half-assed job of not recovering the emeralds, flying away. But yeah, if you guys have stuck around this far, again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Definitely gonna be playing Sonic Mania. I look forward to that, and I'll be continuing to be Let's Playing some old school games. I'll be doing more Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I didn't have to pad out about how I am not currently happy with the metagame of Street Fighter V. That game has a lot of problems. However, if they improve the game or make it more fun, I will probably, you know, play it a bit more. But yeah, I hope you liked it. If you didn't, you just wasted an hour of your life. And I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Bye.